Saturday afternoon, 5:15 sees the running of for what for many is the greatest horse race in the world, the Grand National from Aintree. As we all have our memories of children, I assume it was all a big thing for all of us growing up. I certainly know in my household it was the best day of the year. We'd always have a party, everyone would be over for the Grand National. And I think what sets it apart is even those friends of yours who have no interest in racing, or your gran who would always tell you to turn the racing off when you went over there, they all have a bet this day, don't they? It's the one race that brings everyone together. It's the one race that everyone wants to back the winner. Every trainer wants to train the winner. Every jockey wants to ride the winner. Every owner wants to own the winner of that race. It's a brilliant race. One man lucky enough to have stamped his authority on the race in recent years and will be remembered forever with the race is yourself, Davy. We do this every year, but remind me again, growing up, what it meant to you, and then to actually live that dream and ride in it, and then live the dream and ride the winner. What a journey it must have been.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Just you kind of revolve everything around the Grand National, and it opens up your mind to different things because there's so many stories that come with it. Like we're looking at the likes of Bob Champion, and the movies that were made out of the same with National Velvet, and they're actually like we thought that National Velvet, the movie, was so far away from happening, and next
oh no,
we lost him.
He's gone at Valentine's first time round, David.
Blue Velvet she's unseated rider. I quite like my intro there.
You still use it. You just cut it.
I know.
He'll come back in.
My chili con carne's drifting.
Here he comes.
3, 2, 1.
Sorry, I apologize.
You've remounted and started again.
I'll lead you in.
Can't remount.
Yeah.
I think they got that from me. So we just go. And what was it like to live that dream and that journey to go on, Davy?
Yeah, but it's amazing. There's so many stories come with the Grand National. Like when you're growing up as a child, you watch Bob Champion and they make movies of it. And, Rachel last year is National Velvet coming through, and then it just opens up your imagination to the racing game that, it's possible for anybody to win a Grand National from top to bottom, and there's so many great stories with it. So there was huge excitement around it. My dad used to always tell us a story that they put all 40 runners into a lake, into a little stream, and whichever one finished the run down the stream, that was their horse, and they do it over and over until everybody got a horse. And they're
buggers, dads, aren't they? My dad, when Minnie Homer won the Grand National, my brother had a quid on it. My dad made him sit down and watch the replay and said, "You've got to win it again."
Yeah. It's brilliant. Like it's just fantastic. And then, there's just you hear these stories about there's 600 million people watching it, and it shines a light on our sport, and it's just fantastic. And it's so unique too. We jump obstacles that once a year is enough for most horses, and so it's just brilliant. It's a huge test of a horse. It's a huge test of a trainer and jockey also. So and an owner needs to have a lot of patience if he ends up having a national contender, and then to go and win it like with a horse that you would imagine was quite the opposite to what you thought you needed to win a Grand National. I grew up with party politics and all these big massive chasers, and then we get this little 15-3 ex-flat horse, or a horse was bred for the flat, to go and win it, and then to win it again the second year was was tremendous. And my kids and the people in the local town, it just adds to our game, to our sport. It's a huge shines a light on it for them couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is a brilliant race that seems to bring everyone together. Bill, Do you remember your first bet on the national, your first winner on national? Are you still waiting for your first?
Still waiting for it. No, no, I do remember. Funny enough, I remember when Tiger Roll won his first national. I remember talking to Davy pre-racing, and I don't think you fancied him at all, Davy. And I think that's why you were relaxed on the day, because you just didn't think he was going to be the horse that would win a race like the Grand National. And it kind of took the pressure off yourself, because he was everything, like you say, that Grand National winners aren't. And that probably makes the win more magical, because there's no pressure and you're not expecting anything, and then you get one of the greatest days of your life the other side of it. But I remember that day pretty vividly.
I think you've touched on something quite funny there, that you said about party politics, and I remember that was my first Grand National. I remember that. I remember it won. I remember I backed it. And if you remember, the horse that followed at home was, I think
Romney
it was
King.
Romney King.
Romney King.
Romney King. It was about 8 hands.
Laura's Bow, and then Docklands Express back and forth. I remember.
Flynn, are you feeling young? Because we're feeling bloody old, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, when I
92.
said that my first Grand National, or the first one I can remember, is probably Hedge Hunter, and that's probably one of your most recent ones, I'd imagine. So
It's the last winner in that.
Careful.
yeah,
Careful.
there you go.
My child's only about 6 months older than yours. Right.
Very true.
Right, enough with this all soppy bollocks and all remembering. We want to know the one that's going to win it this year. We want to win some money. Want to find some value for the punters out there. Quick show of betting, and then I'll come to you, Davey, if I can, on the Gordon horses and your thoughts on what you're going to end up riding. But Delta Work, I'll say that quietly, is an 8-1 favourite with us. Snow Leopardess, joint 8-1. Any second now, 9s, Scaria 10-10. Fiddler on the Roof 11, Enjoy Delen 12, etc. Gordon has got 8 in it, I believe, and you at the moment have got the choice or options between Far Class and Run Wild Fred. Where are you with that, and your thoughts on Gordon String, please?
Oh yeah, well, I'm happy with either our Far Class or Run Wild Fred. Far Class was 5th last year, and Run Wild Fred is in good form. He was running blinder at Cheltenham, so I'm not too bothered whichever one he's happy for me to ride. Both have equal chances.
You're going to leave that to Gordon, yeah?
Yeah, leave it to Gordon. I don't think ground will inconvenience either. Far Class will have a bit of pace early on, and so will Fred, and it seems that's what you kind of need, to get into a nice position and jump your way around. So Far Class was around, so he knows what it's about. And Run Wild Fred, then if he takes to it, you just never know if a horse takes to it, they can really enjoy it,
And of the two, because he's got 8 in there, but a couple of them are sort of 100 chances, Alpha Zobo, Battle of Diane, etc., Cocoa Beach. If I just pressed you on Delta Work and Ascaria 10, equal chances, would you lean towards one or the other? Obviously, the rain for Delta Work would probably be the key.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think Ascaria 10 is actually quite a big horse, but he actually doesn't mind a bit of nice ground. So I think if the ground gets soft, if there's rain on the day, I think it'll really suit Delta Work. I think the cross-country race is going to bring him on a lot with his jumping. But at the same time, I don't think you need to jump these fences high. You need to jump them fast nowadays. So that'll play to his strength. Whereas a little bit worried about Ascaria 10, he just might spend a little bit too much time in the air. But on better ground, he doesn't. He's quite quick on better ground. So there's one maybe that you're forgetting about is Mount Ida. Gordon really fancies her. He thinks that he's really keen on her. So she's another one that's in the mix. She was a bit disappointing in Cheltenham, but around the bends and things, she jumped right, and I don't think it'll inconvenience her as much going in these straight lines that we have in Aintree. Okay, you have the canal turn, but everywhere else is pretty much straight. When you're running at a fence. So he likes her. And what else are you looking at? Delta Work, Ascaria 10, Mount Ida. The other two we spoke about, and if it rains and the ground is very testing, Death Duty he loves heavy ground. He really does love the ground. So that brings him into it.
Okay, so that's Gordon's covered. Of the others, if you had to pick one or two dangers or likely winners, or one you'd like to jump on, however you want to term it, give us 2 from not Gordon's that you like.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I'm always fearful of a Martin Brazel horse in a handicap. As we saw at the festival, he was just chinned in the curl, was it, or the curl? Yeah,
you put it up in the box. I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and so his horse, his name just escapes.
Longhouse Poet.
Poet, yeah. Very good in the Toyostas. So he comes to mind for me. And after that, it's kind of hard to stick I'd be looking at one of Gordon's after that. I kind of think Delta Work is the other one. You know, if you're looking for two in the race, I'd thought Longhouse Sport and Delta Work. I do think the filly, and that would be some story. So she's after having a fall, so that's Snow Leopardess. She loves it around there. She would appreciate juice in the ground, and also there's another horse here that Keelan Woods rides. His name escapes me again at the moment, but it'll come to me in a minute. He's another horse with a live chance.
Okie dokie. I'm trying to think of the Keelan Woods horse as well. Now, Bill loves this opportunity. Bill, what's the Keelan Woods horse?
I don't know what the Keelan
Yes.
Woods is. No, it's
yes, he doesn't know.
Lord Dominial.
Too late. I'm sorry. You've been timed out. Right. So over to you, Bill. Bill, nice. Look, we always say about the national, there's a story in every horse, isn't there? Every punter, there's a story in it. And in Snow Leopardess, you were running around the playground in short trousers talking about winning Grand Nationals with Charlie Longston 65 years ago, weren't you?
65 years. I've known Charlie for 30 years. I love Snow Leopardess to win. It's an amazing story, like Davey was saying.
Everyone loves a Desi as well.
Yeah, Desi and a mum, and just a phenomenal story. Will she see out the trip? You know, I hope she does. Last time she tried a trip like this was in the 4 miler last year, and behind Galvin, and she was kind of running on fumes a bit that day. So I just worry whether the massive step up in trip will play to her favour. Mention the ground, you know, the rain comes, Delta Work, as he showed at Cheltenham, the cross country, will take plenty of whacking. I am leaning at this stage towards Any Second Now. Was very unlucky in the race last year for Ted Walsh. Was kind of badly hampered at the 12th, got shuffled back, and then made up loads of ground and ran all the way to the line. Not ideal being 7 odd pounds higher, or whatever he is this time round, 7 pounds higher. But I think Any Second How is rock solid, and he'll run a good race. Longhouse Purse, respect. Fiddler on the Roof, respect. There's loads of horses you give a chance to. Even old Burrow Saint, you know, he was disappointing last time, but you know, there was a touch of the kind of hedge hunters about him last year, about coming back and getting the job done. So at the moment, my only real dart would be Any Second Now. I was going to be on Court Made, which kind of was very painful because that came out the race today, because I thought Court Made at kind of 50 or 66 to 1 was going to run really well. So I've had to kind of recalibrate a bit, but Any Second Now would be my selection at this point.
For my 2 penneth, I think if you've got 8 to 1 joint favourites now, I think on the day that Any Second Now will go off clear favourite. I fully expect there to be money for that. Before I come to you, Flynn, the other one that I've backed at a big price is I've backed the Rasher Counter at 50 to 1, who I thought ran a decent race against Eldorado Allen and Royal Pagaille at Newbury, and the step up in trip will be very much in his favour. So there's my 2. You've got Davies 2, you've got Bill's 2. Flynn, the floor is yours. 2 horses for the Grand National, please. And in Christian Williams form, I would like them to come home first and second.
So before I dive into the selections, let me just do a bit of housekeeping in terms of an offer.
This
so we
is
have
it. He's a professional. He's a professional. Come on. Let's get the offers in.
So we have the all over the place offer, which was mentioned in the last video, but just in case anybody didn't watch that and they've jumped straight to the national, get up to £25 back as a free bet if your horse finishes out of the places but completes the course and is listed as a finisher. That's in the Grand National, the Box Hunters and the Topham. We've also got a competition, which is a yes-no competition, with the first prize of £250 free bet. And there's also thousands of other free bets to give away. Essentially, you just have to answer questions about the Grand National, which will be answers yes or no. Will there be a full start? Will there be a full at the first, etc., etc.? If you get a lot of those right, and if you get the most right, then you'll win that free bet. So just something to get stuck into there. And obviously, you can play for free if you have an account with us. In terms of how the book looks, before I get onto some selections, Fiddler on the Roof has been the one that's been really well backed with us. That's a 6-figure loser. You can see that we're under him in the market. We've laid 33 to 1 back in February and then 16 to 1. We are shorter than that now. We laid Eclair Surf last week. That was when the forecast rain came out. That was really well backed. And also when Win My Wings went and won the Scottish National, because Eclair Surf came second behind Win My Wings in the Ida chase. So Win My Wings obviously going and doing the job in fantastic style at Ayr meant that the support came through at Eclair Surf. Support in recent days has been for Snow Leopardess, who I think is the worst price I've ever seen. I just can't see how Snow Leopardess gets home in good or soft ground. I just can't have her whatsoever. I don't know how she's 8 to 1. It would be a fantastic story and all, but she's a terrible price in my opinion. I think Delta Work is by far the most solid of the head of the market. But the one that I really like here and was previously mentioned was Longhouse Poet. Martin Brazel obviously has previous in this race with number 6 Valverde. I never thought that I'd be on a Zoom room and I'd have number 6 Valverde's form lines up from the race and post here. It was well before my time, but number 6 Valverde, Martin Brazel prepped both these horses in a very similar way. So Longhouse Poet last time out ran in like a 2-mile 5-point hurdle. Number 6 Valverde ran in a 2-mile 3 hurdle before he won the national. So Martin Brazel was obviously using the same, trying to use the same formula as he used for number 6 Valverde when he went on to win it. The twice that Longhouse Poet has raced beyond 3 miles, he's just gone. He's gone away from it and beaten really good horses as well. Franco de Port, Run Wild Fred, the Big Dog. All of these horses have come out and run really nice races since. Run Wild Fred being the main one, now rated 158. There's a £3 pull in the weights there, and Longhouse Poet actually beat Run Wild Fred the last day. He's versatile ground wise. He's won a bumper on good ground, and that was beating none other than Monkfish. So that just shows the potential class of this horse. And I just think he's well overpriced at around 18, 16 to 1. The other one for me would be Good Boy Bobby, who we haven't mentioned yet. That's trained by Nigel Twiston Davis. He's not a typical national type. He's probably more of a, I don't say classy, he probably isn't a real classy sort, but you think like a tight 3-mile track. But he has stayed on really gamey to win over at Wetherby and over at Kempton and those type of places. I think he could be similar to what Jet did last year. So Jet traded really short in running last year, was running a fantastic race. And I can imagine that Good Boy Bobby could do the same. So even if you wanted to bet Good Boy Bobby at 28 to 1 with us and then trade out in running, I don't think that's the worst play, but I think he's very nimble. And I think that's what you probably need for a national these days. Davey would know loads more than me, but I think a nimble horse is better than a big scopy chaser for the national these days. And Good Boy Bobby would fit that bill. I think Death Duty could possibly fit that bill as well. I know he's a bit of a plodder, but I think that he doesn't get majorly high. But I think that Longhouse Poet would be a main selection here for me for Martin Brazel.
Longhouse Poet for you. Great sales pitch there. You almost talked me into it. And Good Boy Bobby. Any Second Now and Durasha Counter for me. Bill, Any Second Now and I'm
going to hold fire. I'm just going to one dart.
One dart. He only needs one. He only needs one. Who's Peter Manley when you got Bill Esdaile? And Davey, 2 for me, please.
And Delta Work and Longhouse Poet.
Perfect. Okay, great. That is the national wrapped up. There is an undercard on the race, and we'll quickly have a look at a couple of the races here. The 225. Let me just get a show of betting. The Mersey Novice Hurdle. My mate runs here. Free Stripe Life. We ran a great race at Cheltenham. Is a 12 to 5 favourite. John Bond 5 to 2. Flynn 12 to 5. That's not a real price. Come on, we should be 9 to 4. We're traditional bookmakers. John Bond 5 to 2, but unlikely to run. Walking in the Air is 11 to 4. So it looks a match bet between those two. He ran a brilliant race, didn't he, Davey, at Cheltenham Free Stripe Life? You must be excited to get on him here at Aintree.
Yeah, he's very good. Unfortunately we've run into Sir Gerhard a couple of times, and that hasn't worked out in our favour. So, you know, we don't need to run into him again in Punchestown. So hence the reason he's going to Liverpool.
Okay. Where would you see him going next year, very quickly?
No idea yet, but you know, he seems to jump really well. He's schooled to running a point to point, although he didn't. So he's got it all done. It's all ahead of him in that aspect. But I don't know. He's just a very nice horse. He's a very pleasant horse to be around.
I'll shut up and you just win Saturday first, and we'll worry about it after that. Bill, of the two, the potential match of Three Stripe Life and Walking on Air. Look, Walking on Air was massively impressive, wasn't he, early in the season? Reported to have a couple of niggles, is why he missed Cheltenham. Where would you be of the two?
Oh yeah, definitely with Three Stripe. I mean, Walker on Air's won novice hurdle at Newbury. You know, he hasn't got the mileage that Three Stripe Life has got, and you know, if Sir Gerhard didn't exist, he'd be a 2-time Grade 1 winner. And you know, he's very good. It's his to lose.
Yeah, Flynn, selection, one of the two.
I would actually throw in Esdaile if Esdaile runs here. She's been kept fresh by Dan Scale and gets the mare's allowance. Walking on Air is all about potential. Freestyle Life has his ceiling, as he's seen with Sir Gerhard and the like. Freestyle Life would be the one at the head of the market, but I'll be hoping that Esdaile can run into a place.
Okay, perfect. And then we've got the 3 o'clock, which is Edwardstone's a short price 4-7 favourite. I thought he was massively impressive at Cheltenham. I don't see anything beating him here, really. Can anyone make a case or anything to beat him? If they can, please shout now.
No, I think it's all his.
Nope.
Yeah, agreed.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Bill, good luck this week punting. Flynn, enjoy the pitch. Hope you have some big meals out with Ben in the evening. I know that'll be the focus of the day. And Davy, thank you very much as always. The best of luck. Best of luck in the national. Hope you have a great week. Come home safe, and listen, we'll reconvene. For this was probably the penultimate Zoom room for the national season. I think we'll see each other for the Punchestown Festival.